Hello, welcome to Texas Style Cuisine. Today I'm going to show you how to make fajitas, something that we eat all the time here in South Texas. We started eating these, I remember eating them back in the 60s, early 70s, and nobody knew they were a fajita back then. They were just an asada taco, or they would have some other names for them, but they were just a meat taco. And then in the late 70s, people started calling them fajitas, started marketing them in some different ways, and the price on them went up, and it's kept going up ever since then. But they're an excellent dish. If you can get hold of the outer skirts, you want that, not the inner skirts. They're more tender when you get the outer ones. But it's a great dish. It's definitely a great Tex-Mex Mexican dish, and I think y'all are going to enjoy it. We're going to make some guacamole and some salsa quemada to go along with it. You can already find my guacamole video, but I will put the recipe on the descriptions, and the salsa quemada will be in the descriptions, and we're going to have a video up of salsa quemada also. But anyways, welcome to Texas Style Cuisine. Let's get to cooking some fajitas. All right, I'm going to start getting the fajitas ready while my vegetables, or my tomatoes and peppers are blackening. And the best thing I can tell you about fajitas is if you can get an outside skirt, you want the outside skirt. It's much more tender than the inside skirt. I know down here in South Texas, we can get those. But where you're at, you may not be able to. The next best thing is marinate them some. You can use some tenderizer on them. You can get them pre-tenderized, or and always cut across the grain. And I'm going to show you kind of how the grain is on these. I'll give you a close-up so you can see it, because a lot of people guess the grain wrong on a fajita. All right, here's our tray of fajitas. Now, these actually have been cut already. My wife picked them up at the grocery store, and they were cut. So normally, they would look something like this is what they would look like when you got them. They would be long. And especially after they're cut, you don't notice the striations as much. But what we're doing is, if you'll look, this grain is running across the short way of these fajitas. So what I want to do is when I cook them and get ready to cut them, a lot of people want to cut them this way because they think that grain is running this way, but it's not. It's running across. So we'll cut it in sections as long as we want them after they're cooked, and then we'll slice from top to bottom to make sure we get those nice tender fajitas. And all I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put on some red fajita seasoning. It's just a commercial mix that I use. All right, now here's our fajitas. Nothing real spectacular about it. This red fajita season, not a lot to it. It's just some onion flake, some garlic, salt, cayenne pepper. There is garlic in it. There's paprika in it for color. Just about any commercial fajita seasoning is good. I like Bollner's real good. But this is a good one also. The Fiesta brand, Bollner's Fiesta brand. Works real good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let these just sit with the seasonings on it and go for a while. And then I'm going to put a marinade on them before they go on the grill. And the worst thing you can do is overcook these. So anyways, there's our fajitas seasoned up. We're going to let them sit. Okay, our fajitas have been sitting for a while with our seasoning. They're starting to render out some juices from that salt that's in the seasoning. But they're looking good. They're about right. The fire is ready. I have the grill ready to go. And what I put on mine anytime I'm in a hurry is zesty Italian dressing. It works really good. It gives it a good flavor. It helps with the moisture. It just does a good job. And I put a liberal coating on these. Not worried about getting too much. I don't leave it on there a real long time, but I'm going to put it on there and I'm going to let them sit for just a little bit with this on it. And then they're going to go on the grill. But the only thing I've noticed is a lot of people like to do chicken breast. And when you do a chicken breast, if you leave it in the oil too long, I think this oil and vinegar, they start breaking down. And I just don't think it's good to leave it on there too long. The beef, it won't hurt it. It'll be on there for a while. But anyways, there they are. Haven't got this one yet. So it has my rub underneath, my fajita seasoning, and then the zesty Italian dressing up on top. But that's all looking good. We're going to let this sit here for just a little bit. And then once these marinate for a little while, we'll get these on the grill and see if we can get them cooked. All right, fajitas are ready to go on the grill. Grill's nice and hot. We're going to get on there. You can see my fajita turner. It's actually a steer head. Let's get a close-up on it. Now, that's kind of unique because a lot of the fajita turners you have are either left-handed or right-handed. Most are right-handed. This one will work either direction because both of his horns are sharp. But neat little turner I found one time and picked it up. But it works great. You can hook your meat, and it goes right on there. It works great. So let's get these on the grill. And one of the important things, and I said this earlier, is don't overcook your fajitas. We want to keep them moist. We want to have them kind of a medium rare. We do want them pink on the inside. But I'm going to lay these 2 skirt steaks on there and let them start cooking. We're only going to go maybe about 4 minutes on each side. They're good and hot, and they're gonna cook quick. Those grills are hot. My grill is adjustable. I can raise it up. So if the grill is too hot, I'll just lift it up a little bit. But it works really well like this, and I think everything's gonna be fine. All right, getting all these flipped over. They look like they're cooking up really nice. Nothing wrong with these at all. They're gonna make some good skirt steaks. All right, I'm gonna take one of these smaller ones off, and we're gonna slice it and kind of see how it's looking. But these are looking pretty good. And again, when we slice these fajitas, the grain is running this way. So many people are tempted to cut it like this. And then you've got the pull of the muscle. To get across the grain of a fajita, you cut your meat, turn it. Ooh, that's hot. Let me get my tongs. Okay, my tongs. And I'm going to cut thin strips across it. All right? And if you look, they're nice and moist. They're still pink on the inside. These are medium rare to medium. They're looking nice. But we're going across the grain. That's going to help them be a lot more tender. All right? And remember, if you can get an outside skirt steak, that is definitely what you want. These are looking good. I think they're going to pull. If you look, they pull apart good. Good flavor. They're not going to be too tough to eat. They're going to work good in a taco. So that is fantastic. Very good. Now I have some homemade flour tortillas. We're going to get those ready to go. Get them nice and hot. Make up a taco and show you how it looks. All right, I'm going to heat up some tortillas. Now, I made these tortillas actually yesterday, and I'm not going to tell you that yesterday's are always as good as today's, because they're not. But what the ladies here will do in South Texas are, because, a lot of times the husband and wife both work. So what they would do is the ladies would make all their tortillas on the weekend, and they would last them for the week. Men would take them to lunch, and there's the train going by. Y'all can hear I'm close to a train tracks. Trains going through, but these heat up really good. So if you make a big batch of them, it doesn't take long to heat them back up. They work really well, and these are going to make some great tacos. These are getting good and hot. Now, what I'm going to do is toss this around. Ooh, that's still hot. Let's get that one off. Put it with the others. That's how you cool a tortilla. Right off the stove. All right, they're cooling down. So cool. All right. Now, let's get some strips of fajita in here. Again, I sliced them nice and thin, so I wouldn't have a problem with them being too tough. But I'm gonna go with some meat. How about one more? That looks like a good taco. Some guacamole. And my guacamole recipe I'll post down at the bottom on the information down there, description. And there's already a video of my daughter and I making guacamole. So you can find that video and look at it. But got my fajitas. I have my guacamole. Only got 1 spoon here. So, salsa quemada across the top. And I bet you this makes a fantastic fajita taco. Let's see if we can get a bite. Excellent. There we go. The meat is still moist. It's tender because we cut it across the grain. We didn't overcook it. With the guacamole and the salsa quemada, all matches up together. A great Tex-Mex dish. Fantastic. Try it out. Once again, appreciate you coming to Texas Style Cuisine. Come back and see us again.